Clarity. The clarity of a Sunday morning. Where do you get your clarity? Where and when and how? Why do you get your clarity? How do you get it? Here's a pro tip how I get mine. It's Sunday morning. It's early. Nobody's awake. Even Pepper's sleeping. And I did a meditation. Now, I got to say, it wasn't my greatest meditation, but as I like, Joe Dispenza says something like, I don't think there was ever a bad meditation. So the only bad meditation is not doing one. So I did a meditation, and I wasn't totally into it. But, so I've been using Midjourney. Midjourney is an AI graphics creation tool, which I am having super fun with. It's just basically fun to play with. And what it does is, so you give it a prompt and you ask it to do something, create a dog with a watermelon and a drumstick of chicken, whatever, and it'll do the thing. And then, so you can watch it appear. You can sort of watch it in real time as it's sort of a blur of colors, and then it gets more clear, and then it gets more clear, and then it gets more clear, and then it's the clear image. So for me, a meditation is a lot like this. And I'm in the meditation. It was actually, to go really woo on you, it was a past life regression meditation. But like I said, I kind of wasn't into it and kind of half there. And so in Midjourney terms, in graphics terms, it was blurry. And even, it's so interesting how the communication works for me in meditation. I'd love to hear your feedback or your experience with meditation and what I call nonverbal communication, because there's a lot of that. It's not like I'm hearing voices or I'm having direct conversations like we do as living humans, but I just get messages. And one of the messages was, so with a past life regression, you're kind of going back into a past life from you, and whether or not you believe in this stuff is irrelevant. You can use whatever you like as far as how you get your messages. So I got some message, and it's from this past life person. And this past life person, it was interesting. He was male, and I don't know if he was particularly wearing beige clothing because he was so drab and boring, or was it because of, like, the Midjourney bot who's creating this beautiful image, it just wasn't done yet. Meaning, I wasn't that connected yet. I wasn't yet on the frequency. I wasn't vibrating at a high enough frequency, resonating at a high enough frequency to connect properly to this image, right? So I could barely see it. And it was interesting because again, with the nonverbal communication, he said something like, hey, I can feel you're not really into this. It's fine, whatever. And he said, and so they go into this sort of what's this message for you or something like that. And the message for me was extremely clear, because this guy's like, hey, you're not so into it today. That's fine. Whatever. It's your thing. And he says, voice. And recently, we've now been in the Netherlands 7 years and going on 8 years. And I'm at a point where I'm looking for the next thing, as Steve Jobs would say, or as my upcoming anthology is titled, Now What? And with meditations like this morning, it's very clear to me. And it's funny because I'm very stuffed up right now. And I wouldn't call myself sick, but I'm stuffed up. My nose is stuffed up and I can hear it in my voice and I don't like it. And so I wouldn't normally record some audio this morning, but I'm doing it on purpose because I know it's not optimal, and because I want to do it anyway, and because the message is more important than the medium it comes through. The message is, the what of the message is more important than the how it comes through. So I'm stuffed up, and it might not sound great, and I'm not going to apologize. Hey, I'm just stuffed up. And so, but I'm doing it anyway, right? And I'm doing it anyway. Sorry, a little improv comedy there. And not but and. And I'm doing it anyway. So what does this mean? My question to you is also, how do you get your clarity? Where do you get it? So how, for me, is meditation. When do I get it? For me, is early morning, absolute first thing in the morning. I admit this morning, I really don't like this habit, but I turned on my phone and I'm usually looking for either Insight Timer, which is my new favorite meditation app, or I'll do Joe Dispenza guided meditations. But the Insight Timer is fantastic. You can type in a keyword or whatever. So I'm doing my past life regression from Nikki Sutton, who I really enjoy. And so that's for me, how is meditation? When is early morning? Why is because if I like to take the meditation and replace it with a C to make it medication. For me, my meditation is part of my medication. And so it'll help me get well, it'll help me get clear, it'll help me be strong. And it's truly my source of energy and clarity. So back to the message I got, and I'd love to hear the messages you get from your meditations or your moments of clarity. But for me, the message I got was very clear, just a one-word voice. And recently, because I've been, as I moved to Europe again, and I've been doing my books, and I've written 38 books, and kind of, in a way been there, done that, but I will continue to write books. I'm sure I'll hit 100 one day. And that's super awesome and great. But at the moment, I'm just feeling a pull towards more performance art, more theater, more voice acting, more voiceover, more, and this is where I think it gets interesting. So there's a guy, I always forget his name, and he did this thing. I'll try to look it up, and I'll try to make a link, and I'll try to link to the video. He did this thing. It was during Corona, and it was called like the Great Reset or the Great Revolution or something like that. And the guys, I can't remember the guy's name, but he basically had this gorgeous video of really well done camera work with him, I think his daughter, and he's reading little books, and he does the voiceover, and he tells the story. And it got millions of views, and I think it launched him, actually. I think this one video launched him into popularity. And as of this morning, whatever we are, April, 14, I think it is, April 14th, 2024. And by the way, I do these little audios. If you're listening, I love you. And I do these a lot for me because this is how I do a draft of a speech or of a post or of a book or of a chapter. I talk it through. Now, I happen to do it audibly, and then I'm a dork and I'm daring and I kind of fear nothing. And I think it's, the connection I potentially have with you, dear listener or viewer or reader, is that if you connect with me, if you resonate with what I'm talking about, then hopefully we can connect. And maybe we can co-write a book together. Maybe you will read one of my books. Maybe I will read one of your books. Maybe something that we share because we share this similar frequency of creation. So that's about where I am. It is Sunday morning early. And for me, and this is what I'm seriously going to do. It's not that early anymore. It's like 8 o'clock now, but I've been up probably since 6. And I'm going to go right now. I'm going to go, my current main project, there's like 3 of them, but one of them is the ONE, O-N-E or W-O-N, this one word, one chapter, one book, one day, 1 year project, which I believe in to the depths of my heart. And it's one of those things, like, if you're going to get it, you're going to get it. And you're going to say, this is brilliant. This is awesome. Sign me up. And on that note, I need to get that word out to see who I can connect with, because here's another kind of pro tip. I think I maybe connect with 1 in 100 people. I have oddball ideas. I talk about weird stuff. I go everything from woo-woo to basketball to passion to patience. And I have topics that I think are important, they're awesome or whatever. And I don't know, 1 in 100 think they're awesome too. So if that's you, let's connect. And maybe you'll come to my workshop, or we can co-create a workshop, or we can be part of the anthology together, or we can just connect. So that's it. I'm going to check my time because I really want to keep these under 10 minutes. See how we're doing here.